same time, Genesis is now coming into these matches on a pretty good streak. I mean, just coming off a 2-0, like, they're looking pretty good coming to this match, but you're right, Selfless not to be counted out. But we're gonna find out right now, aren't we? Game number 1, best of 7. One of these teams is getting their spot to land, well, the other is not. Genesis, Selfless. So who's gonna pull off that first early play to set them into the lead? These both teams, I'm sure, got the nerves going on right now. I know I would be, that's for sure. Insol, we know when he gets up there, he can show us what he's got. Limited amount of practice time, but he shows it where it counts on the field here right now. Good passing play out the midfield as we already see Genesis trying to get some early offense started up. Selfless just keeping that at bay and trying to find a chance for themselves. Normally go for either team, but I'd say Genesis is off to a fairly good offensive start.
Mio and Timmy bumped into each other and they still were able to get that save. Usually the first minute of games are pretty quiet. If there's ever a week for teams to take their time and make sure they are calculating out every movement, this is the week.
You take too much time though, you might give enough for your opponents to score, and right now Selfless having trouble breaking out of their own end. Right off into game number 1. We have a long series ahead of us. That could change as the series goes on, but Genesis showing a good early start. See if they can keep it up. Chrome, the angle on target, but Timmy is there to stop that one out. See if Timmy can start popping off. We know he's done some miraculous things for his team before. Classics. Not going to find any real angle on that one. 2 people in on that ball. A 50-50 could have gone towards Genesis end. They committed a little bit too much to that, but Selfless finds a slow counter attack. Dapper going to leave that one as Genesis takes possession of that one back off the backboard. Insol finds that one. Great read off the backboard. A follow-up in the air, but Chrome and Classics both up for that one. They got to watch out.
This could be the turnaround, but Classics gets around just in time before Timmy can secure a shot. Mio off the corner, nearly on target.
Chrome trying to keep that momentum moving forward. In game number 1, 2 minutes passed so far. Neither one of these teams conceding a goal quite yet. Selfless spent a lot of time on defense. A chance for an attack from Timmy. Great mechanical control from him.
Fantastic turnaround, and it seems that both teams, they're getting their constant drives, they're getting the shot, and then they want to bail. They don't want to dedicate too much. The last thing you want to give up right now is an open net.
Off the backboard, Timmy's going to leave that one there. Miho has a chance to shoot. Takes the shot, Classics. We'll wait on the goal line for that to send that right back into the corner. Miho with enough boost. Air dribble this one off the wall. Isn't enough to get it past Chrome. He'll flick that one on target. Dapper forced to clear that to the side as Miho rotates back. Timmy trying to clear that past Insol. Insol will back off instead as Timmy does get a second touch on that one. Miho waiting patiently at that midfield. We'll wait for a clear down from Genesis as they try to create another attack. Flying to the air as they try to get Selfless a chance to score here. Still not many chances. There's a shot though. Classics will take that one easily off the back wall. Another shot. Selfless starting to put some pressure on. 2 minutes left in this match, and we're still scoreless.
Both teams struggling to break through these defenses. I think the short passes might work in their favor, but can Dapper follow this through? Insolences gets there just in time.
Insol's had a lot of great reads, and this is exactly what you need. A team that is on point right now. You have some weeks where teams just aren't playing to their best. And it looks like both teams are doing exactly what they need to. So they mentioned on the desk, very close in stats for offense and defense. Dapper trying to get a shot, a rocket. Miho getting the first of the regionals for NA.
From such a night angle nearly at midfield, Dapper trying. I liked Chrome's decision to come and cut that off. Classics had to drop back in net, and right above him, almost interrupted by Dapper coming across. That is after so many shots, they finally pull in our target with a significant pace.
A boomer to grab the first one, Selfless. Sees him up. Only 1 point though, a minute 20 left. In game number 1, even if they hold off to this lead, Genesis has a few more matches ahead of them. They can pull back, almost answering quickly. There's a chance. Insol just following behind. All three getting involved. The answer comes quickly.
Talk about high risk, high reward. Just one tiny movement away from flailing about and not getting a touch, but Insolence is following through, reading out Classics, understanding that backboard so flawlessly, ended up tying the game up 1-1.
With a minute 14 left, I'm sure Selfless was hoping to be able to hold off onto the lead on this one. They're gonna have to try again. With the rate this is going, we're gonna see an overtime Classic, so with a chance for a 50-50, he does. Quick turnaround. Have to make sure that drift is perfect. Timmy pass forward to Dapper, who sets that on target. A stop there by both defenders. Classics play this one slow as he waits for a touch from Chrome. Team pinch going into the corner. Neither one of them are going to get a shot. Insol might have a chance. He puts it up. Dapper will get onto that one quickly as Selfless keeps himself alive. 48 seconds, sorry, 43 now. As the final minute, hustle is going to start up from either one of these teams, but at a tied game, you want to try anything too risky. Overtime might be completely viable for both teams. Drop down from Insol to Classics. 30 seconds left. A bump there will send Dapper with possession. He puts it into the corner. A boost grab, a chance to pass that one to Miho. Over to Timmy, who sets that one on target. Finds the angle, and Selfless back into the lead.
Talking on the desk about Timmy being on, and look at him go. I don't understand how he got this angle. Coming from the side, just nicking it with the front of his car, making it 2-1 with only 19 seconds left.
Nothing is impossible when it's do or die. And Selfless knows exactly that. Timmy to bring themselves back into the lead. Now, another quick answer will have to come for Genesis if they don't want to lose game number 1. Look at this, just everyone forcing everything onto that. Miho with another to solidify it with 6 seconds left. Genesis probably gonna have to look to game number 2.
Genesis just did this to them, 2 going up for the same ball. No one knowing how to read it, and now right back there to the 2-goal lead with 6 seconds. I suspect whoever gets this first game is going to have such a sigh of relief knowing, hey, all we have to do is keep this up. The last time these two teams met, Selfless was the one to take it. Can they do it again?
That's a good question. We're going to find out as the series goes on, but right now, Selfless, once his ball touches the ground, will have themselves a win. We'll see if another goal happens out of it. But Genesis, again, not to be counted out. They're trying to at least get one more, the consolation that feels good going into round number 2. I want to see how long they get. This is a good 15 seconds already. Classics, can you finish it? He does it. That was a good 20-second overtime. I mean, it didn't matter.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully that's enough to make them feel a bit better. I suspect at that point, Selfless knew they had the win. They might have just having some fun as well. Keep it up. Try and keep your mechanics on point. 12 shots on Selfless' side. Such a high shooting game on both sides. I think it was about 8 shots. I think the last one probably made it 9 for Genesis. Yeah, 9 shots for Genesis, 12 shots for Selfless. What a high shooting game for both of these teams. 3 goals to 2, pretty much 3 goals to 1. That overtime goal, I suspect if Selfless really tried, they could have shut that down. But with 0 seconds left, they knew they had the victory. And now with the first game under their belt, Selfless are looking to repeat what happened in week 1.
But, I mean, here's the thing, and this is what I love to see on Genesis. It was over. Even if they scored, it didn't matter. But the second you show any signs of weakness, the second that you give up, that series might be over. Genesis' heart is still in this, and there's a long series ahead. That was only game number 1. Selfless did take it, but Genesis showing a lot of promise coming into the second one.
And the 2 players to look out for, Timmy on the side of Selfless and Insolences on the side of Genesis. Both had incredible plays. Insol following that touch from Classics off the backboard.
It's the smart play on it, too. Like, he could have just given up and left. But he waited. You know, I got enough boost. Let's float here. Get a touch out to a teammate.
I think it started as a mistake, to be honest. I think they both went up, and he's like, oh, I'm already up. And he's like, well, I could probably turn this into something. And he's good enough to do so. He, changed the trajectory of his car mid-flight.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
To read a bounce that happened right in front of him. But the angles Timmy has gotten, I mean, you're never prepared for those. That last shot that he made from the corner, but still coming from midfield, just kind of sideways flying through the air, able to bounce it into the net, that was phenomenal.
Well, and this is something that Genesis has to watch out for. They realize they're playing, again, this is a top team. This is the regional finals for North America. These guys can do stuff like that, and Timmy especially, someone to be wary of.
This is for their shot at land. Whoever wins this will go to land. So much on the line.
Someone is going home, and I know neither one of these teams want to be it. 15 seconds into game number 2. Selfless did take game number 1 fairly close the entirety of it up until that last minute and a half. Genesis did grab a last-second goal. That's going to be an open net. Chrome won't be able to get back, and Dapper going to secure the first ones for Selfless.
Insolences went up for this bump, and Chrome, he thought it was going to happen. He saw Dapper manage to just get over Insol, so Chrome got a little bit too antsy. He wanted to come up for that touch, but since the bump from Insol didn't happen and he came up, that was too dedicated to a risky play.
First goal in the first 30 seconds. Genesis did have a quick answer in game number 1. We'll see if they can answer this one quickly. In game number 2, they have a lot of time ahead of them. Still over 4 minutes left to at least answer one, but I'm sure they want to grab a couple and not hit overtime. Back into their own end, attack from Selfless, just barely missed from Miho. Dapper will try to keep that play alive. Timmy there to set another angle, just wide of the net to the right. Classics tries to dribble this forward. The flick from the Dominus, not going to be strong enough. They'll end up back in their own end. Uncharacteristic miss from Insole there. That will set the ball into the hands of Miho, but a miss there for him. He wanted the boost. I think Insole might have got that one. As he air dribbles this one out of his own end. Defensive air dribble, super strong, as he almost puts one on target there. Timmy just shadows him nicely to keep that one to the side. Can an attack come out from Genesis, or will they back off? They'll have to back off to their own end.
Right now, Selfless is feeling a bit starved as well, though. Insole did steal their boost after using all of it for that air dribble. Well played by him, but now they have to make sure they retreat on defense.
Little help there from Insole. Chrome's going to get that touch out to the wall. Timmy will greet that one to keep that play in the blue end. Selfless shot on net. Dapper with a second. They extend their lead.
What seems like a simple shot was all about the placement. Dapper taking his time, fluttering that boost, noticing he had classic speed that could not have been placed any better, just under the crossbar, knowing the defender wouldn't have the reaction time to get up for it.
You're absolutely right. And there's a second one for Dapper. Selfless trying to grab another one off the kickoff, off the backboard. Miho met by Insole, still in the box. Chrome had to clear that one. Doesn't clear it nicely though, and it will go back into the hands of Dapper as they create some midfield pressure. Classics off the roof. He's been moving fast today, but he's losing control in the corner. Teammates will have to help him out. Far post pass. Chrome tries to find an angle himself. There's no one there to receive a pass off the backboard. Selfless, quick counter attack. Both Timmy and Miho up for that one, a little awkward. Insole with a chance to move that back down with Chrome. The quick turnaround. Genesis ready for these quick counter attacks. Look how fast these counter attacks from both teams are coming out. The second they have a chance, Timmy forced to save that one. Selfless still with a 2-goal lead, 2.5 minutes left in game number 2, best of 7. Loser of this series is going home. The winner will grab themselves a land spot. Selfless looking to set themselves nicely into the lead in the series. Genesis still fighting though, showing good promise on the field. Here's a chance. Classics with a clear up to his teammate Insole, but intercepted by Dapper. Selfless back down the other way. Oh, just off the crossbar. No finish. Dapper will have to backflip out of there.
Right now, Genesis struggling to mount any kind of offense. Only 2 shots on target. This might be number 3 if Chrome can get there. He almost makes it.
Insole with the shot, just waiting. Again, the patience. He was out of position there, just being on the side. Should I go back or should I just wait? And there it is. Boom.
I actually don't think Chrome got a touch on that. I don't see him getting the assist. No, that was all Dapper's touch. Suspecting Chrome was going to get the drop down. He wanted to get a pinch, but instead, he accidentally kills it. They're still up by 1, but Selfless, they have to make sure they stay on point.
Now only 1 goal away with 2 minutes left. Genesis with the chance. We've been seeing them make some work, especially Insole when he's in the air. He sets one towards the box, but they won't be able to make anything out of that one. Genesis back down towards their own end. Oh, bit of defensive mistakes there. You cannot make those mistakes at this level of Rocket League.
This started with Genesis attempting to go for a bump, but look at that. Both Chrome and Insole went to the corner. No one came to net. And then Miho took Chrome out. But in that case, Chrome should have just been there to bully and try and get in the way. Someone should have been coming from net, but they both went to the corner. That was the mistake.
You know what, yeah, I'm gonna say it's more that not really Chrome's fault. He was just trying to jump off the wall, but got bumped off and ended up backflipping instead. Now Genesis is back again, 2 goals down. Insole keeps trying to set some plays up, but Dapper, the 1v1, will set it up for Miho. Just misses the front of his wheels though to get the shot. With a minute left, they just have to hold on to a 2-goal lead. Well, we know what Genesis can do. See if they can pull this one back. They are stuck in their own end now. Hopefully enough boost to at least clear this one. They're looking for each other, and I like to see that, but passing play falls apart. Timmy almost with a chance. Chrome has to collect that one into the corner. Good passing play there from Genesis as they clear this one down the other end. 51 seconds left. Genesis, turnaround from Classics. He's had a lot of good drift turns in these past 2 games. Get those 50-50s, just wasn't able to turn that into an attack. This could be their chance. Insole will be off on that one, so Classics will have to follow it up. A boost grab could be a chance to starve their opponents. A demo as well. A shot a little bit too high. Maybe going for a pass. Classics just going to wreck everybody right now. He is aiming for the destruction. The demos to allow Chrome and Insole to get a play towards net. And there it is. As Classics creates chaos in the Selfless end.
Not capitalizing on the demos directly, but this touch from Insolence is directly out to Chrome. Miho unable to meet out there now with only 1 goal separating the two teams with 21 seconds. Will Selfless get the first 2 games?
I'm not sure. Genesis had 0 seconds to get one of their goals, and they managed to do it. Now they have some regulation time left without the pressure of worrying about it touching the ground, although that might be going towards the net. Dapper, the only one there. Can he find the slot? No. Classics, one more chance to win a 50-50. Timmy will get it past him. Chrome off the backboard. I expect Selfless to try to kill this one pretty quickly here. Of course they will. That does catch the side though. Timmy will kill this one off, and Selfless barely, yet again, taking game number 2.
It just feels that Selfless has more control. 9 shots in favor of them, and only 5 shots for Genesis in comparison. 2 saves on both sides, but it feels like Genesis is going for slightly risky plays. We've seen several pretty close to open nets, or like the defensive retreating mistakes, right? 2 going for the corner. We saw, I think it was Insol and Chrome. Chrome was in the corner. It was the bump. I can't tell if it was Insol or Classic. I don't recall who he was with. But if you're going to make those, the dedication to offense, if you're going to make those aggressive plays, you need to make sure you have some sort of plan to retreat. If both of you go for the corner, only one of you is going to get the boost, first of all. There's no point in both of you going for that. And then on top of it, you're both going to have this weird, ugly angle off that sidewall. Essentially, one of you wants to go, slow it down, bully them up a bit, and even if you don't get it, someone should be coming directly from net. You've slowed down their attack. You force them to maybe give up possession, right? The idea is if you challenge someone, you're making them make a move. And then now your second defender can read them a lot easier because they know, like, okay, well, they're going to have to try and get around my teammate, so I know they're probably going to pop it up or to the left. Easier to read, right, than having the full field in front of them. But it's those little mistakes right now. I think they're dedicating for some slightly risky things, a couple of big bumps, but then no one's staying back to be safe. And right now, Selfless has capitalized, and they've had significantly more shots both games.
Well, I mean, more shots, but I mean, with only 2 saves coming out from Genesis on that last one, it almost just feels like sloppy offense.
Yeah.
Tighten it up, might be a little bit better, but I mean, Genesis taking advantage of every time they are on offense. With less shots, but almost the same amount of goals, Genesis still looks pretty good on the field to me. And I don't count them out yet. Even though Selfless is up 2 on this, they have 2 more to win in a row if they want to take this sweep. Genesis still very much alive in this game. Game number 3, our first best of 7 of the day. One of these teams trying to secure their spot to land. We'll see who's going to be Selfless in a good spot already in the match, or sorry, in the series. Genesis trying to play catch up now at this point. Flick from Miho will be stopped by Chrome. Genesis finds himself on an early defensive maneuver here. So they try to get on their own end. They're anxious to get out there, and no one will be back home. Pass out there to Miho. What a stop off the backboard. Comes Chrome, getting that epic save. Selfless, try again, please.
That was so close. I cannot believe he fell off the crossbar for that. I don't think anyone from Selfless expected either, as that shot could have probably been placed a bit farther from him.
And so playing it slow, allowing Chrome some time to get back. 50-50 pinch going far to the other side from Miho to Timmy. Dapper trying to recorrect. He'll be out of the play now as Genesis moves up, but that gets sent right back into the play by Miho. There's the finish. Dapper grabbing that one off the backboard. They're going to grab the first goal yet again.
This is what I mean by making a bit too much of a dedication for a play that just isn't quite there. No one there on defense, everyone having to retreat while trying to predict at the same time. And again, Selfless will capitalize, putting themselves up again for the 3rd game in a row.
Minute 15 into this one. Not the quickest goal, or not as quick a goal as last time, but still a fairly early goal. Game number 3, Selfless grabbed the first 2. They're already in the lead in the 3rd one. Holding off is going to be difficult. Genesis has been very close to answering in the last stretches there. Every single time. Very risky play from Classics. He's backwards. Dapper, if he had put it simply on target, could have been a goal. He tried to get that backboard second touch. Chrome, patience to get a play set up for his teammates. No shot on net. Try to 50-50 that one himself. Classics will leave it for Insol. Nice flick with the Batmobile there to send that one flying down back to the Selfless end. Timmy missed that one. Insol a pass to Classics. He'll be there quick, but Dapper reaches it first. Chrome just creating some midfield pressure of the play, but he does have boost, at least that respawn in time, and Insol chance for the clear. There's Chrome to keep the momentum moving forward. Just maybe on target there in front of the net. Insol with a miss there. And Selfless still alive, still in the lead, 2.5 minutes left. Shots like that need to go in the net. Genesis still trailing by a goal.
Right now, Genesis is thriving and moving it from defense to offense, doing such a good job of within 2 or 3 touches, they're putting a shot on target, but it's that last follow-through. They're always one touch away from potentially securing a goal.
There's a passing play to the far corner. Miho will steal it away before it drops in front of the net. Classics knew that was going to happen. Backs off. Midfield boosted up. Let's see who greets this one. As Timmy tries to move it down. There's Chrome and Classics moving together. 50-50 in front of the net. That's going to roll up. Chrome will be a little bit too far away, though, to create anything out of it. Selfless getting bullied now in the corner. 50-50 for Chrome will be favorable. Insole with a shot on target. Miho will send that one flying back to the midfield. Chrome keeps that one to Classics. Classics, a follow-up a little bit off target, though. A lot of pressure coming up from Genesis. 2 minutes left now in game number 3. We see Genesis making some pretty smart moves they're always watching for, and that's the one thing that I think is working so well for them, is these passing plays. They're looking for each other on the field, and I love to see it, but they're still trailing a goal behind with 1:30 left. Selfless just has to hold off. We'll see if they can do it as it heads back down towards their own end.
Right now, Selfless seems to be plagued by double dedication. We've seen many times so far. 2 of them have gone for the same save or the same shot. They haven't gotten punished just yet, and for the first time so far, Genesis is leading in shots, 5 shots to 4.
Minute left. We'll see if that can pay off, though we know that they've, in this series at least, had a better shooting percentage. Right now, they're getting stopped out of any chance. Selfless with a minute left. Could put themselves at match point to get themselves to that land spot. A slow play from Dapper. We had 2 on there trying to get the mind games. Too many people in net, though. They didn't fall for any of that. Genesis, 1 goal away, 2 goals away. Miho finds yet another ridiculous angle. 48 seconds left. Selfless looking for their 3rd game.
This seems to be Selfless's specialty. I cannot believe that didn't hit the post. Going in, he was able to find the angle. It didn't even make it all the way across the net. He still managed to seek out the middle of the net from such a tight angle. Miho, right now, everyone on Selfless, if they are left alone, they are going to be a threat.
And so we'll slow this one down. He's had a couple good flicks there. Chrome waiting for the pass. Tries to get the perfect angle to center that one out again. Insole to Classics, but he was off getting boost. Up to try to get one across to the far side. Maybe a finish himself. Couldn't slip that one through. That's going to be a chance though for Chrome. Defense falls apart for 1 brief second for Selfless. Genesis punishes hard.
Classics following that through was a fantastic move by him. Miho would have had a hard clear, but Insolence is following it up, and Chrome getting the 3rd. Good team play. Genesis, as you said, seeking each other out, trying to predict each other's touches. Their biggest plague right now is that they've been doing it a little bit too early sometimes when the play isn't promising, but when the play is there, it's fantastic.
19 seconds left now for Genesis to grab 1 more goal to bring this back to an even game and hit us in overtime. Otherwise, Selfless is going to put themselves at match point. Genesis takes that one. Oh, Insole takes it away from Classics. He tries to carry it himself, though, does get stopped up by Miho. Dapper just has to drop it. And Selfless Gaming sitting now at match point to get themselves into land.
3 games in a row. Right now, Genesis, the only way they can win this, the only way they continue in the RLCS is with a reverse sweep. Now, if we know anything about Season 3, it's reverse sweep season.
Yep.
So if there's a chance now, it's the better chance than ever. But Genesis now has quite a hill to climb. They have to win 4 games in a row, best of 7, just to remain in the RLCS and to make it to land. But Selfless now, the light is shining. They're so close, 1 win away from going to land.
I'll give you my black market decal if this reverse sweep hit. My only black market decal.
Me?
Yes.
I don't want your handouts.
Cool. Well, at least I seem nice.
Somebody else. Just give it to somebody for free.
It can happen.
Wait, which one is it?
I forget now.
You forgot which? They only have one. You forgot?
It's the one that looks like grass. Slipstream.
That's
the one.
The one that looks like grass.
Match. Who cares about my black market? It's not important. I only have 1. Yeah, I'm keeping it. Yeah. So this match I had Genesis. This is a long reverse sweep though. We've seen reverse sweeps, but they've only been in best of 5s.
Yep.
A best of 7 reverse sweep is quite the feat to pull off. Genesis has been very close in this series. They've been doing a very good job, as we said, watching out for each other and making these plays develop, looking out for each other. You said maybe sometimes too early, but they are doing it. Is that going to be enough? This is a tough feat to pull off.
Yeah. The toughest all season.
Do we have the faith in Genesis?
This is hands down the hardest reverse sweep anyone could try and achieve ever. We never had one in a best of 7, I don't think.
Well, Genesis fans, give them your energy because they need it right now. As Selfless sits at match point to get their spot into land. La La Land. We need to change that. We'll see if they can pull it off, or if Genesis gonna get this reverse sweep, keep their dreams alive. Potentially our final game, game number 4 in this best of 7 North American Regionals. What a start to the day so far. As an early attack from Selfless. Starts to pull out, slow gameplay in the corner. Miho just waiting patiently. Timmy a little bit too close to that one, won't be able to get a shot on net. Classics and Chrome to move this one down the field to mid, but Classics lose control. Insol waiting patiently back. Timmy pops it over top of him. A drop in front of the net. Dapper gets the win on that 50-50. We'll send it past the defender and grab another
this
first
all
goal.
goes to Timmy. He knew Insolence was coming for it, and he knew he couldn't beat him to the shot.
Absolutely.
So what does Timmy do? All he does is just interrupt the play. There's no clear coming into you. I'm going to pop it up. He's now pulled out an entire defender and given it into position for his teammate to make it. 4 minutes and 20 seconds left. 1 goal up. Selfless might get this.
We'll see if Genesis has the heart to keep it alive. I love the drive I'm seeing out of themselves. They have not given up, and you can't at this point. This is not the place to do that. Insol, a chance for a shot, sends that one far to the other side. Miho will be able to get in the way of that one, not enough mustard on it. Classics, Chrome with a little nifty passing play there, trying to get a sneaky shot on net. That one won't work out either, but they got a lot of time to work with right now. A missed shot from Insol. Miho, wait for the second one, doesn't matter. Insol will get that last final touch as Genesis puts in a tying goal.
I've got to give it to Chrome for slowing this play down and then just going for the hard cut. Miho, last defender, there's nothing you can do. He came a bit too late. No one was in net. Again, too dedicating to the touch prior to that, leaving him all alone in net, but well read by Chrome to put it across.
An answer almost coming up from Timmy off the kickoff. Kickoffs can, well, do reset the momentum. The team that can pull strength out of that ends up finding themselves an early goal off kickoff a lot of times. Almost a chance there. They'll try again from their own end as they push this back down into Genesis. And so with a clear. Classics with the second touch there off the wall. Reading that one from Dapper, and Miho will send that one right back down into the Genesis end. Chrome to meet that one as a spider on the wall. Classics, nice 50-50, sends Timmy flying, but Miho there with the pressure. A lot of pressure from Selfless. Did a very good job making sure they don't commit too many people. Dapper was waiting way back. No read from him, and that ball heads back down to midfield. Genesis with another chance, 2.5 minutes left. We're still at match point, 1 goal. We'll grab Genesis a win and keep themselves alive, and 1 goal will set Selfless into the lead with a potential final chance for Genesis. Otherwise, they're knocked out. Insol sends that one to Timmy, a shot on net. Chrome and Classics both there for that one. They got to watch out. Both committed to that save. There's the 2.5 minute mark now. Dapper almost with a chance. Chrome, the chip forward. Both teams trying to create a play as they're getting very cautious about who's going to get this next goal.
Genesis being much more patient now, moving from defense to offense. Oh, but the bump, clearing Chrome out.
Oh no, Classics!
And a demolition! Miho just completely removing Genesis from the field, bumping Chrome and then getting a demolition on Insolence is on the way, leaving Classics all alone. Amazing.
He forced his hand. Classics had no choice but to act on that ball, and the only thing he could really do was put that in a terrible spot. And there is the goal lead now for Selfless. 2 minutes left, almost an answer off the kickoff. We just talked about those. Let's see if Insol can take another chance. There it is, no one home. The quickest answer we've seen in this series so far.
They really have, and it's that pressure they can get early on. Insolence, that was the perfect corner for him, and a follow-through. Well-read Chrome was actually there as well. Both teams getting caught with open nets time and time again so far this series. If they can just clean that up.
That feels so good for Genesis to be able to answer that quick. But Selfless says we can do it too. Off the kickoff, what is happening?
Insolence just waited in net, and he's like, all right, we're safe, right? And he goes for boost.
Oh no.
And Dapper reminds him not to leave them alone, and that every single player on Selfless is a threat anywhere on the field. 2 minutes left though, 1 goal left for Selfless. Will we see a repeat of week 1?
Genesis, it's your turn to get a quick goal off the kickoff here. Insol almost had a chance. Dapper was a little pushed too far forward, but Insol couldn't get the angle he wanted. Dapper will be there to recover it. Takes this one to the ground. We know he's good there. Chrome will greet that one on the backboard. Sends that to midfield. Insol with the follow through just off the backboard. Miho forced to push that one into the corner. Great mechanics for Miho to be able to set that one to the side where Genesis couldn't create anything out of it. A minute 30 left now, and Selfless still in the lead. Another goal, 2-goal lead. Selfless may have this one under wraps.
This Chrome having to come from the side and missing that first touch. If he'd controlled that, he would have been able to push it to the corner, but the pressure may have just built up a bit too much, knowing he was the last man on defense. He couldn't go for it, and that is now 2 goals up for Selfless. Will they get a sweep? Will they go to land?
Genesis has to do everything, and there's part of everything. That's something. 1 goal away from bringing this back to a tie game.
It's all falling apart. Chrome and Classics following that up. It's again 2 on both teams going for that. That was like a 2v2 at the ball. 1 goal now separating these teams.
Carpet, what's happening?
I have no idea.
What are they doing to us?
They don't like us talking.
I'm sure most people don't. Genesis has 1 goal away now from bringing this back to a tie game. Selfless just has to hold on to the lead. 1 minute is approaching. They know that. They know that they can commit too much. They do not want to give up this lead. Here's a chance for a turnaround. Chrome to the far side, but there is nobody there to get a touch on that one. Classics trying to create something out of it. A completely neutral 50-50. Dapper will take possession of that one again, but Insult takes it away. A shot. No one home. Re-extending the lead by 2 goals with 50 seconds left.
Genesis know they had to extend for this. Chrome, he went all the way to the side. I don't know how I feel about that. I think he expected Classics to get a touch, so he pulled himself out of any kind of contention for that ball. And now 2 goals down. Genesis, even if they win this, they have to win 3 more in a row. This is going to be tough.
2 goals. Can Genesis do it, or is this the end of the road for them? 40 seconds left now, and another one. Selfless is feeling it. They're ready to go to land. 3 goals ahead, 40 seconds. Genesis has to give everything.
Genesis is falling apart, and right now they have legitimately everything to lose if they don't come out. 3 goals in 40 seconds. It'll be one of the most fantastic feats we've ever seen here. I don't find it possible, Leaf.
It's not over. It's possible, just not likely, as Selfless is looking so comfortable and ready to take this win. They've been at it for so long with 30 seconds left. 3 goals, 10 seconds a goal. Genesis looking for the first one off the backward. A follow-up from Classics. Just missed the net here. 16 seconds left. 3 goals ahead. Selfless looking comfortable, taking it slow. There's 1 though. 10 seconds possible. Can Genesis do it?
I don't want to say anything. I don't want to say anything.
Just watch the remainder in silence.
Yeah, let's just.
I can see this. So Chrome on the field, he's so fast though. He doesn't want to give up, and you can't. 11 seconds is not plenty of time, but it's enough time to get these goals back. Insole hard clear. That'll be to no one with 5 seconds left. Selfless with 2 goals ahead is gonna be able to find themselves a spot in the land. As we said, they've been at this for so long. This team has been together for quite some time, and finally, they find themselves at land.
In their RLCS debut, Selfless manages to squeeze a spot at land. Congratulations to them, and Genesis getting so close. It may have looked on paper like a sweep here. Genesis, in my eyes, they were always just 1 touch away from securing so many goals.